So Harley Davidson gave us 4 custom vehicles for the evening. 3 CVOs and 1 lowrider ST that was just a monster. What did we do with it? Well, what do you do when you're in Laconia? We took them up the Cackamungus Highway. I recorded some of my initial thoughts, some walk around video. I'm gonna put them all together. I'm gonna let it roll, and I'll see you at the end. So right now, you're looking at me from the handlebars of this 2024 CVO. I think it's a Road Glide ST, the one with the fixed fairing, you know. Our friend Ben over at Bikes, Beards, and Brews arranged for a few of us to have these bikes for the evening. We have left the Laconia Motor Speedway, or New Hampshire Motor Speedway, not sure yet, heading on up to the Cackamungus Trail. We got a couple different bikes. We're going to take turns trying them out and see what we think. So first of all, thank you for Harley Davidson for letting us have a night with your very expensive motorcycles. So this bike, it seems to be set up pretty good. I didn't have to touch anything with the suspension. Out of the box it feels good. Apparently it has some sort of race tune on it because it is the CVO ST. Not playing with any of the gadgets. I will keep it in sports mode, and my high beams are on. Let me figure out how to shut those off. Alright. The bike feels pretty good. Nice vibrating. I've sat on other bikes like this, and I gotta tell you, the seat on this is really, really good. I don't feel that it launches me forward too much. So we're just riding these bikes around for the night. We're gonna hit some roads. Speed limiter. And you can see my microphone cable. That is thanks to you, Chin Mounts, for screwing me. And almost cost me my camera. So, this is where it stands. This bike is pretty good. Rockford Fosgate radio. Won't use that. We just left everybody in the dust. I don't know if you can see them back there. This is an impressive motorcycle. It's heavy when you first get on it. Personally, just coming from the Amaerica, you know, a little nervous moving it around just because of its weight. But, oh no, there goes Alex. I think that was Alex. I don't know, but it was once you get rolling on this thing, it is a solid feeling ride. Not a lot of vibrations coming up through the bars. My seat are on these incredibly huge floorboards that are comfortable. I will say that the rider pyramid is not really comfortable for my legs. They're a little too forward, and I think we're slowing down. I'm not sure what is happening here. Hey Cardo, unmute. I am on the CVO, the opposite of the shark guy, so maybe the street glide, or it could be the road glide. Not really sure, don't really know. It's a nice bike, CVO. These motors are super smooth, very impressive. You can hardly feel anything through the footboards, through the handlebars. The handlebars are kind of suspect. Look, I mean, again, thank you Chin Mounts for the sucky view, but the elbows are tucked in. The handlebars are too low. They're almost like resting on my knees. Where the ST, I was a little more relaxed. My legs were spread pretty wide on the ST. Very similar on this, but I'm not, so that could just be me just not being comfortable. So I would need some taller bars, which on this bike you have to take the fairing off. The forks are buried deep inside, so who knows how involved that is. And the seat needs to go back a couple inches. So this is a great bike. I mean, everybody I talk to, the stuff that I would change is pretty much standard on any Harley that you buy. Nothing against the motor company, but just, you know, to make it your own. It's pretty good. I like it. No buffeting here. Almost no helmet noise. The Shelly does a great job anyway. This is a nice bike. There's no difference to me between the fixed fairing and the regular fairing. They both handle just as good. Turn around in the parking lot, it's a little bit heavier, but nothing that you couldn't work around with. So I'm going to add a little footage walking around this bike real quick. Has this cool little phone holder. So it doesn't have the storage that the other bikes have, like the little cubby holes. I like cubby holes. Hey Cardo, unmute. Alright, so here I am on the Lowrider ST. This is, other than the 131 motor and I guess exhaust and everything, this bike is horrible as far as seating position. That guy on a little bike, I mean, I could almost touch my elbows on my knees. And I do wonder, a little extended, like if I were to try to get the foot pegs in the front, the controls, just to see if it would make a difference. I would really want to sit on a bike with this frame before I were to commit to that. But it's a clean look, there's nothing in the fairing. I would rely on my phone for all this GPS and everything. No frills. Suspension would have to be updated. Definitely the seat pushed me back a couple inches. But it's not that bad. You know, it is what you make of it. You're going to swap parts out and make what works. I think I could make this work if I could get the controls forward. I know they try to keep the controls up a little bit, just, you know, to maintain the sports touring, but it's uncomfortable the way it is for me. 6'3", and we're still on the Cacamundus. Cacamindus. We're doing something out here on the Cac. Alright, so this is going to be the ride home. Very interested in comparing it to the 22. This is supposed to be the top of the line Amaerica. So I hope you'll be able to evaluate what I like and don't like about my bike. Of course, I've changed it, and figure out what I do like. And this guy is a nice bike if you can bend your knees. I was a total fat guy on a little bike. My legs were frogging. I was frogging. To ride the Road Glide CVO ST, a Street Glide CVO, crazy little Lowrider ST, and now I'm back on the Amaerica. Not my Amaerica, the CVO Amaerica. And I gotta say that out of the box, this is my seating position. I like it. I don't feel I'd have to change much. I actually ride this. I don't know if these have bar risers on them or not. I think they do, but if not, maybe I need to put my bars back to where they were. I like it. Foot pegs, they're kind of sucky. You know, I have the bigger Punisher XLs on mine. A lot of people go with the more adventure type. They're kind of the same thing. They got little grips on there, holes in the bottom. I could put a link to the video up here. So what I do like, the windshield seems a little bit firmer. It's not flapping. I noticed that. When they were giving me the rundown on the bike, I asked the guy that moves the bikes around and stuff how it was finding neutral. He was like, it's a pain in the butt. He goes, I pretty much shut the bike off and slide it into neutral then. Which is kind of the stance that I take. Or if you're rolling to a stop. Has the built-in fog lights. I guess everything goes through the CAN bus system. It's nice. I turned them on in the options. Don't know why it wasn't turned on, but I still have the adaptive ride height. And I kind of wonder if I hit the high beams or the high fog lights going to turn on. So I want to give that a shot. My thoughts? What would I buy? What wouldn't I buy? We'll start with number 4 on my list. The CVO Street Glide. I'm going to say, first of all, that was a beautiful color. If there's one thing Harley Davidson knows is paint, and they are not holding back there. That was a good looking bike. I will say that for being a CVO, I was a little disappointed. Just comfort wise, the bars weren't that nice. The seat really didn't work for me. And that's a fancy seat, you know, they reupholster it and all, so you don't want to really get rid of that. But again, these are things that everybody changes on their motorcycle. I will say, as far as air breathers go, I love that compact look of that air filter that was on that CVO. It was not the snorkel, which proves to be problems. I'll talk about that. But in general, it was a great bike. I like it. Probably wouldn't buy one. So that's why that made number 4 on my list. Is the Lowrider ST, and wow, that 131 motor in it is amazing. I don't know how anybody could ever want anything more torque and speed wise out of a motorcycle. I did not mind the small shallow bags on the side, the clamshells. Personally, for riding around town, I think they would do the job great. There's enough storage to put a plug kit in there, some tools, and your rain gear. If you are going to tour on the bike, and this is pretty much the same for all these bikes, I would want a sissy bar on the back so I could hook my big Karaoke day bag up. It's so much easier than unloading and loading. Don't know if I'm ready for a tour pack or not. Controls, very minimal. One little bar readout. I guess all I need is the little gas gauge, the tachometer, and my speedometer. Anything else is just a bonus. I mean, look at what's happening on my Amaerica. I have all kinds of things happening. Being able to plug my phone in for the GPS is perfect. I got my music through my headset. I don't need the stereo on any of the bikes. So it technically could be a good option for me. The pegs were horrible. I had to sit frog leg it, was the best description someone came up with. So forward controls would be nice. I would love to be able to try those out. Maybe sit on another bike. I know I've ridden one of the newer models that have the forward controls. It has to be the same. It's the same frame and chassis, so you know it's an option. The snorkel on the side would have to go. It just seems to jet so much further out than what was on that first CVO I rode. That I don't know. It's a comfort thing. I mean, it's not like it got hot. Oh, I should have downshifted. We're chugging along. There we go. 4,000 RPMs. It is a great bike. Do I have any other notes here? Oh, and you know what? In the video, I kind of like immediately say about how uncomfortable it is. The next day, riding back to take the bikes back, I opted to ride it again because it's that much fun. The next video, and I did not go into a lot of detail on it, and that's probably my fault because I have one, was the 24 Amaerica CVO. It's the same, really. The only differences are that a lot of the options I went ahead and put on this bike come from the factory with it. I think the sticker, I didn't grab it like I did the other bikes either because I'm comfortable with it. It's like 28 or 29,000. If you get a Amaerica with the spoke wheels, what is that, a woodchuck? If you get the Amaerica with the spoked wheels, the adaptive ride height, because that is different than the suspension, you need the adaptive ride height, and you get those factory bags on it from Harley with the racks and everything, you're probably close to $26,000 just with that. It makes sense to buy the CVO. I think they should have called it maybe a special edition or something, set the bar. Not even setting the bar, change the bar a little bit, get away from that, what is it, custom vehicle operations, get away from that. Face it, no one knows about the Amaerica unless you have a Amaerica. Everywhere I go, people still stop and ask me, what is it? Is that a BMW? I mean, it is ridiculous. Harley, you should be paying me to go out and pimp this motorcycle. I love it, it's my favorite, but it wasn't number one. This bike came in at number 3. No, or actually going the opposite way, number 2. Make sure I get the name right because I mess this up every time. The CVO Road Glide ST. The bike is perfect, pretty much right out of the gate. The seat, to where had you planned it back, you're off the back of the gas tank. Like I had a little extra leg reach. My rider, the ride pyramid for my legs, I was comfortable going in. The only option that I would change out like immediately would have to be that snorkel air breather, that big sucking you in. The other CVO had a nice one. I wonder if they would be interchangeable. I don't know, but there are plenty of aftermarket options out there. You definitely want to go with the high flow. Being the ST, the sports touring, you know, it had the solo seat, I would be totally fine with. I would want to be able to put a small sissy bar on the back for touring. I would have no problems taking that bike on the road. The motor in all of those bikes are amazing. I've never really spent a lot of time with an M8, and I have to tell you, I was impressed from the word go. The torque and everything is just amazing. And it's hot out here, so I'm lifting up my shield. I hope it doesn't get too loud. I was really impressed. I love all these motorcycles. If I had to spend money, or if I had the money to spend, how's that? I would definitely go with that ST. That would be worth every penny. And the least amount of reinvestment, probably for me, right away. So I think that's it. Keeping this short and sweet. Thank you, Ben, for the invitation. Thank you, Harley Davidson, for letting us have these amazing machines overnight. I couldn't have had more fun on 2 wheels, I don't think. Be sure to check out Bikes, Beards, and Brews for their reviews. I'm sure they're going to have some coverage. Melissa Moto Adventures hung out with us also. She did the demo ride, or test ride. That's pretty much a test drive, right? I mean, that's way bigger than a demo ride. But anyway, Melissa got to ride all these bikes too, so she might be sharing her thoughts on them. And that's it. This is Jerry here, Minnow Moto. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because I never ask and I should. Thank you, everybody. Ride safe.